Hello beautiful little heartbirds, it's Nerissa here from twoheartbirds.com, the internet's most passionate, loving, delicious daily wedding blog there is ever. Today I'm going to talk to you about when you're planning a wedding, which day of the week to celebrate your wedding on. Now, about 80% of people choose to celebrate their wedding on a Saturday. So I'm going to look at a couple of pros and cons about Saturday, but also a couple of pros and cons about maybe having it on another day of the week. So let's look at Saturday first. Saturday pros. One of the biggest things is it makes your guests happy. People love a Saturday wedding. They can celebrate the love on Saturday and then they can recover on a Sunday. You never get that negative feedback of people saying, oh, Saturday, what a terrible day of the week to have a wedding on. People love it. And if your guests are happy, you are happy. That's a good thing. The second thing is that services and vendors are used to having weddings on a Saturday. So they're used to planning during the week for it, they're used to the ordering system, they're used to the setting up, they're used to traveling in the traffic, they're used to a Saturday. And that can take a lot of pressure off a bride and groom, that all of that is completely under control. They're used to doing it. The third thing is if you have people coming from interstate or traveling a long way, having a Saturday wedding gives them the opportunity to get there in plenty of time. And it's quite convenient for people to do that, having a Saturday wedding. There are some cons of the Saturday wedding though. It can be a bit more expensive. So you really need to factor that in when you're planning your budget in the initial stages. If you really want to have certain things, maybe you need to be flexible with the actual day of the wedding if it's conflicting your budget. The second thing is that it's because it's a really popular day, there's a lot of competition. So you have to make sure that you're prepared, that you're planned, you're doing a lot of that in advance to make sure you have the venue, the caterer, the photographer that you want. The third thing, and dare I say it, is football season in particular, especially when it coincides with peak spring wedding seasons. You just need to bear that in mind. If there is a big game coming up and you have a choice between that weekend and maybe another Saturday, you might want to choose the lesser of two evils. It does happen. People don't come to weddings because they're playing football. People don't come to weddings because they want to watch football. And also a reception is, people do look on their smartphones and check scores. I've even seen someone with a transistor radio in a church listening to the scores. So that is a definite con of having on a Saturday. Looking at other days of the week, Friday is my most favorite day to go to a wedding. I love it. It's my favorite day of the week. It's my favorite day to go to a wedding. The biggest pro that I have about a Friday wedding is that it makes the wedding celebrations last longer. You start on the Friday, you end on Sunday night. It just extends that whole celebration of love party, I think. The second thing is that it can be a little bit cheaper. Because vendors and services might be more available, you can have the opportunity to negotiate between different companies for catering, for photography, whatever it may be. And that's a really good thing when you're budgeting. The third thing is because it's not as popular, a lot of the time the venues and the services are available. So if you really want to get married in a certain church and it's booked out for the next 2 years, maybe your option is to look at having it on a Friday, for example, because then it might become available for you quicker, which is a good thing as well. There are cons though. People work on weekdays, people work on Fridays, and people might not be able to take the day off or might not want to take the day off either. One thing to get around that is to send your save the day cards out as early as possible so that people can have the opportunity to save their annual leave or to ask their bosses about it, or if they run their own business they can put plans in place early for them to take the day off. The third thing is travel. It can be more expensive if people are coming from interstate. They have to maybe stay an extra night. Maybe the airfares might be a little bit more expensive. You do need to bear that in mind, that it can be a bit of an inconvenience for traveling guests. The third thing is, and if you're not a very well prepared bride, it does cut out one day in the week for you to do things on. So if you want to have a Friday wedding, then that's it. You've got a 4-day working week to plan those last things in that last week. And that could be a problem if you're not prepared enough. So my question of the day is, little heartbirds, which day of the week have you got your wedding scheduled in on, and why? I look forward to hearing from you.